Crimson Desert was one of the standout games from the Game Awards. We got a brand new trailer at that event, and that really captured the imagination of a lot of people. So let's talk a little bit about the game. I want to go over 10 things that we know about the game so far. So without further ado, let's get right into the game. Number one, what is Crimson Desert? Well, described by Pearl Abyss, Crimson Desert is a revolutionary open-world action-adventure title that combines elements of a narrative-driven single-player game with online multiplayer functionality. The game is set in the continent of Pywell, a war-torn world with many different territories, cities, cultures, and religions. Pywell is a land full of turmoil with many areas, factions, and regions fighting for control. As players progress through the game, the events will unfold that will shape the destinies of all involved. Number two, always like to talk a little bit about the development studio. Pearl Abyss is a studio that has been gaining some attention over here in the West, mainly due to the release of Black Desert Online, which is now available for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Generally speaking, one of the standouts of Pearl Abyss is that from a visual standpoint, their games are absolutely remarkable, and when you look at the comment section of, let's say, this Crimson Desert trailer or even a Black Desert trailer, you'll see a lot of people remarking about the incredible visuals, and yeah, that definitely stands true with Crimson Desert as well. Crimson Desert is noted to be Pearl Abyss's largest scale game since Black Desert Online. During Black Desert's 5 years of service, the game has gained over 40 million players across PC, console, and mobile platforms and grossed over $2 billion in US revenue. Crimson Desert will allow players to explore another of Pearl Abyss's captivating worlds full of story-driven gameplay, cinematic graphics, and unrivaled combat mechanics. Number three, the exact story of Crimson Desert is still shrouded in quite a bit of mystery. However, what we do know from the trailer, the main character is Macduff, a downtrodden mercenary fighting to reclaim their land. In the trailer, you can see Macduff meeting primary members of the mercenary group he belongs to that will travel the continent alongside him. Number four, speaking of said mercenary group, Crimson Desert does have a focus on the mercenary company and relying on others. The game will have you meet a plethora of different characters, all with unique goals and motivations, and whom you have to earn the trust of. Again, every mercenary you meet will have their own story to tell, their own unique reason for choosing this path, and it's up to you to truly earn their respect so they fight under your banner. Obviously, there will be several mercenary, everybody is out to get a piece of the land, and everybody's gonna have their own motivations and ideas for where the continent should go, and there's a lot to actually take away from that. Now you might be asking, why is it now that all of these mercenaries are out to take a piece of this land or do it for their own goals? Well, the king, unifier of lands, lies in a coma in the ensuing power vacuum. Those who have suffered under his iron rule now seek to exploit his weakness. Some who have felt the oppression of his conquest seek only independence, but others dream of gaining their own absolute rule. In this time of turmoil, you will not survive against such powerful foes alone. You better assemble a team that is alongside you. So you can see the timing really works out where everything is coming together and people are really trying to fight for a piece of this land and for their own goals. Number five, now talking about the mercenary aspect of the game is interesting because we do know that the game is going to have some sort of multiplayer functionality, but to what extent we're really not sure yet. Originally, a lot of people thought this was going to be a full-blown MMO, but it has been clarified to be more of a narrative-driven open-world action-adventure RPG with multiplayer elements focused on. You would have to assume some of those multiplayer elements would be having people in your mercenary, joining together. Who knows at this stage of the game, but Pearl Abyss obviously has a lot of familiarity with developing multiplayer titles. How that will be implemented in Crimson Desert will be interesting, but at the same time, from a personal standpoint, I would like to see this take a more narrative-driven, your own RPG kind of route where multiplayer is an option and you can take advantage of it if you want. And if that enhances the game, great. I would also enjoy if you can fully play this game alone, and it does seem like they are going down that route. Number six, now the name of the game is Crimson Desert, which obviously is going to immediately cause people to make connection towards Black Desert, and if you never played Black Desert, that might be a little bit worrying. I mean, Black Desert is an MMORPG, might not be everyone's cup of tea, so do you need to play Black Desert? Is this a Black Desert sequel, and is it some sort of prequel, or what is the connection between Crimson Desert and Black Desert? Well, Pearl Abyss did clarify that the game stands as its own IP, which shares some thematic similarities to Black Desert, which for those of you that are playing Crimson Desert, which know prior knowledge to BDO, I wouldn't worry about that too much. It really does seem like Crimson Desert is going to be a game you can just pick up. Maybe there'll be some thematic similarities, but if you want to play it as its own standalone title, you'll be able to do that just fine, so that's a huge thumbs up from me. Number 7, the world of Crimson Desert is almost a main character of its own, and it has quite a few layers to it. It's set in the vast but divided continent of Pywell. It tells the story of this continent, which is divided regions inhabited by people struggling to survive in its ever-changing lands, from the vast plains of Akapen to the cold lands of Quietin or the barren desert. You'll travel through a variety of these different regions, all boasting different attributes, but at the same time, all of these regions are not going to be completely friendly to you. There's gonna be different enemies, there's gonna be different rulers, there's gonna be different creatures to fight, and how you survive that, well, that's gonna be all up to you. Number 8, well, how are you going to survive? You're going to need some weaponry, and weaponry is at the heart of Crimson Desert, and that will be available to you in abundance as well. As noted on the game's official website, a new generation of weapons has emerged alongside the old pistols beside swords, cannons beside axes, and even hand-mounted cannons. Furthermore, the advent of the mysterious art of alchemy has allowed some gifted practitioners to imbue these already deadly weapons with additional abilities. Suffice to say, you will never be short of a weapon or two in the world of Crimson Desert, with a vast range of weapons and countless customization options. What you wield and how you wield it all depends on the type of warrior you want to be, so leaving a lot of the option and the customization levels to the player's hands, which I think is something that is pretty much a standard in RPGs these days. Number 9, there will be a wide variety of enemies as well, and you'll have to face them all within this continent, be it other people or mythical creatures. The game's website also notes, as you traverse Pywell, you'll find that threats abound in all shapes and sizes, be it the so-called just rulers promoting their own distorted brand of justice built on a foundation of death and bloodshed, or the hostile forces threatening your lands both from within and from afar, such as a certain desert-based cult that worships a powerful ancient gods. You can see in the trailer that you might end up facing some gargantuan creatures as well, so be on the lookout for that. You might be lucky and you might face one of those. Other than that, a lot of land creatures as well. Number 10, so the big question on everyone's mind is, when can you play this game and where can you play it as far as platforms are concerned? Well, bear in mind that everything is in flux right now, but the game is scheduled for a winter 2021 release date and targeting a console and PC release. It hasn't been clarified if the game would be on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but one would have to imagine a game at this caliber would be a next generation exclusive title, especially considering the fact that you can even notice a few frame rate dips in the latest trailer. But given that the game is a ways away, I'd imagine that to be ironed out as far as, you know, running on today's platform. But we'll see how everything plays out. Again, the game is currently scheduled for the winter of 2021. We'll keep you on lock if there are any delays. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, Crimson Desert, I imagine, is a game that's going to get a wealth of attention, especially as we see more of the game, as we hear more about it, as we get some definitive details, but definitely one that I am looking forward to. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.